Confession time here, gang. I have never ever before this rewind watched this movie, and I know I get it. Brand myself a horror channel, and I haven't seen this one. There are some tearful reasons why I've never watched any real possession films, anything having to do with the occult, that we need not really get into right now. But with all the buzz surrounding these new pieces of Evil Dead lore that we're about to get, I felt like it was time to put aside past trauma and really dive into 1981's The Evil Dead with a set of virgin eyes. I'll say this for the movie, from the very rip, they do not waste time. They get right to the meat of the film, and I appreciated that because this is considered a classic by many people, and I didn't expect a movie that was long revered as a classic piece of cinema to be under 90 minutes long. So let's go ahead and see what everybody's talking about. You know, it starts off church quiet, like the intro, the opening credits. You could hear a mouse piss on cotton, and the camera roams through a wooded area, a body of water that's got a car overturned in it. It looks a lot like Meth Mountain from the Mayans, if you ever had to sit through the Mayans show. There's a car carrying what I believe to be two couples and a very attractive fifth wheel over a dilapidated bridge. And I'm telling you, there is a quote from a movie that I love, and I think it's Funny Farm, where the guy says, "That's not a bridge, it's termites holding hands."
This ain't a bridge. It's termites holding hands.
We're going over it.
Not me. I wouldn't go over this thing on a skateboard.
And that's exactly what this bridge looks like. They deserve whatever happens to them at this point in the movie just for trying to traverse that thing. And as if the bridge wasn't enough of an adventure, there's something seeking through the woods. And it looks like, whatever it is, it looks like it's on a collision course with this car. 5 kids make it to the destination, though, and it's maybe the creepiest cabin that they wind up at since Crystal Lake. I mean, it just looks like a place where you wouldn't want to stumble upon, and these guys are actually setting out to lay their head in this place. Bruce Campbell plays Ashley, or Ash as we've come to know him over the years, and he's a horror mainstay. You see him a lot throughout the genre. He's here with girlfriend Linda and their friends Scott and Shelley, as well as the attractive aforementioned fifth wheel Cheryl. Fine young group of body fodder, even if Ash has probably one of the more infuriating unibrows that I've ever seen in my entire life. The cabin, too, it looks like it's held together by the souls of the damned, but it's boring. I mean, there's nothing to do out there, especially if you don't have a warm body to roll around with. So Cheryl finds herself sitting in a room sketching, because she's a damn good artist. She's sketching a photo of a likeness of a clock that's on the wall before her hand is sort of possessed by something and starts scribbling furiously on this pad she has. And we wind up seeing what, at first glance, it looked like SpongeBob to me, but once you get into the meat of it, or the kind of backstory of this movie, you realize it's the Necronomicon, Book of the Dead, whatever you want to call it. She has just drawn a rather pretty accurate picture of this thing. Now, even after this incident, and it's weird in every sense of the word, she sees the door on the floor because there's a pull-up door to a cellar. She sees it start to shake violently, and even then, these folks don't decide, hey, you know what, we're just going to walk away from this. We tried it, didn't work, we're going to go on and live and do something else. I mean, it's not like they have a hot tub. There's not a putting green there. They could probably let this one go and still be okay. But on top of all of that, the door winds up blowing open, and these people decide to go downstairs and investigate. Now, if I'm making you mad because you're a fan of this one, and I'm sort of minimalizing key points, and I got to apologize, but I have to wonder, this has to be where a lot of the bad habits that we scream at the screen for, we're in the midst of a horror movie, this has to be where they started. Because you cannot tell me it makes sense to go into the cellar in a shitty little cabin after the door's been blown open by something and just kind of see what's going on down there. I get it. If they decided not to do that, it'd probably be a boring film. Just, let's just point out a little bit of the logic gaps or some of the flaws here in the thinking of our main characters. They go down into the cellar and they do find a reel-to-reel machine. And that's got to feel like an arcade to them because there's nothing to do in this cabin. So having any sort of technology to pass the time, it's a welcome sight. And then they play it, and there's a guy narrating a description of a book pinned in blood, bound by flesh, and guess what's right next door to it? They find the book, and they bring that upstairs too. Now, them playing this tape, once the incantation that the guy on the tape started, I would have probably shut it off. That's me, though. I'm superstitious. I get scared of everything. I got twin daughters. I'm terrified of everything. And the incantation, as it's read out, as it's spoken out, starts a stirring outside. We get smoke coming up from the leaves, something coming up from the ground. Probably not a good thing for our campers in the cabin at this point in the film. Then there's a tender moment with Ash gifting his girlfriend a necklace and what looks to be us leading towards a double session of some hanky-panky between our couples while Cheryl slinks around her room in a robe. Now, there's a strange sound outside because there, of course there is. And guess what? She pops outside the creepy cabin into the spooky woods to look into what that eerie sound was. Now, after I had watched this, I realized that the movie was rated NC-17, and I didn't altogether understand why. But then the tree scene happens where Cheryl is pinned down by branches of a tree, and a tree slides up between her legs, and wow, dude. Did not expect that. She winds up making it back to the cabin, and she convinces Ash to leave, but the bridge is out. So they don't really give you a second to catch your breath because that was really disturbing what we kind of just saw. And then they try to get away. The bridge is busted up. It's destroyed. It's no longer there, which is very believable with the way they crossed that thing. And so whatever this evil is, it's not going to let them leave. It has no intention of letting them go. Ash goes back to the tape to see if whoever this was that was talking on the tape had any ideas on what was going on or what they were dealing with or how to deal with it. That's when all hell breaks loose. Literally, figuratively, in every sense of the word, chaos rains down. His friends turn into what I believe are called deadites. I'm pretty sure I got that right. As does the lady he loves. And Cheryl ends up being locked in the cellar with the door. This is deadite Cheryl, mind you. She winds up being locked in the cellar with the door chained in such a way where she can look up out the crack at everyone and say some vile, nasty things. Really, really scary and effective visual that you've probably seen in trailers of this movie or the remake. It looks really, really good. And I will say, overall, the cinematography is good. It's grainy. It's got that sort of Texas Chainsaw Massacre feel to it. But the rest of this movie is Ash running from or combating this evil, which means killing his friends and burning the Necronomicon. The man doesn't really have a blueprint on how he's going to survive this situation, and the tape doesn't give him any useful ideas. He has a hope, though, that if he survives until daylight, until sunrise, that he's going to be okay somehow. And it's a pretty good guess, I guess. I mean, if you can't leave, you're sure as hell not going out into those woods in the middle of the night. It's pitch black outside. I guess that's as good a plan as any. Now, I appreciate anybody willing to put eyes on any video that I put out, any discussion I have. You guys are saints for giving me any sort of an audience. And this is going to be the moment where anger sets in, because I really didn't like this movie. I thought they did some good things. That gritty grindhouse look to it that we talked about prior, it works. It really fits. Bruce Campbell's awesome. His unibrow sucks, but Bruce Campbell's awesome. There are some creepy elements to what these 5 people have to go through in the movie. I kind of dug the effects. Shade over the top, but, it's 1981, so, it worked. Aside, though, from Bruce Campbell, not a great cast. I mean, you can tell this was low budget, and good on them for creating what a lot of people consider a cornerstone of the horror genre with a movie on such a shoestring budget. But for me, though, it's just a 5 out of 10. It's a middling horror movie. It will not age gracefully. I have zero interest in seeing it again. There's a chance years down the line, if I lose a bet, or if there's nothing else on TV, or if I'm kidnapped and I'm strapped to a chair and I don't have any choice, it's the only thing I can watch, maybe I'll see it again. As of right now, of my own free will, It's not going to happen. Yell at me in the comments, please. Tell me what I missed. And I'm really interested in knowing the backstory, the lore of this, because I'll probably watch a few more of these, but I'd love to know what I'm missing. So if you'd be so kind as to have that conversation with me, I will happily have a dialogue with you that's not bitter or judgmental. We'll have some fun with it. This is Age of Gracefully. I'm Matthew Essex. Like the video if you like the video. Comment below. Subscribe. I'll see you guys on the other side, but not in a creepy-ass cabin in the woods with a book made from flesh. That's where I draw the line.